Today's class, we will get started in a seated position of your choice. I'm gonna start in a cross-leg position. So if you are also crossing your legs, take a moment to notice which leg you have on top here. And also, if you'd like to pull the flesh away from your sitting bones, this just helps your sit bones really get grounded down into the earth. Give yourself a moment to arrive in your space. Take a few slow, deep breaths, noticing the temperature of the air around you, taking note of any sounds that you're hearing. Maybe you're in nature and you hear the rustling of leaves and the wind. Maybe you're indoors, you're sharing a space. Wherever you are, let's take 3 deep breaths together, in through the nose and out through the mouth. 2 more like that, in through the nose, fill up the belly with air and out through the mouth. 1 more deep breath in through the nose. You can let the shoulders rise as you inhale and let them fall as you exhale. And if you haven't already, you can allow the eyes to fall closed, allowing your attention to turn inward, finding some stillness in your space, and begin to notice your breath. Maybe you're feeling your breath primarily in your chest or in your nose. Perhaps you're feeling the expansion across the ribs or into your low belly. There's no right or wrong answer here. Just allow the breath to come naturally. Taking any notes of how you're feeling physically. Maybe you have some tension in your hips or in your shoulders. That's okay. We'll work through that together. See if you can begin to elongate your breath. Cycling your inhalations and your exhalations through your nose only. Expanding the belly, expanding the rib cage as you breathe. Whole inhalations down into the depths of your belly, and whole exhalations, let it all go. And if you'd like to join me in a quick pranayama, we'll pause to hold the breath at each end. So we'll pause at the top of the inhale and again at the bottom of the exhale. So we'll take an inhale through the nose and pause, hold it, and exhale through the nose and hold it out. Inhale through the nose, hold it in, exhale through the nose and hold it out. And as you do this with your own breath, see if you can keep the air coming in smoothly. So it's not like a quick inhalation, it's all coming in at a nice slow pace, maybe a 4 or 5 second count. Continuing to hold at the top and hold at the bottom. Take 1 more like that. Inhale through the nose, hold it, and exhale through the nose and hold it out. And now just let yourself breathe naturally. You can continue to cycle the breath through your nose. And if you would like to take Ujjayi breathing, you can tense up the muscles in the back of your throat and breathe cycling through the nostrils. It almost sounds like the ocean as you breathe. So it's almost as if you're starting to swallow. Tense up the muscles in the back of your throat and inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And as you practice the Ujjayi breathing, see if you can soften across your face and soften across your thighs. Turning inward for one last moment as we breathe. A lot of people say this breath sounds like the ocean. The ocean is a beautiful metaphor for humanity as well. And just like each breath fills our body, each wave in the ocean has a purpose, just like each human has a purpose. And as we settle in, you can gently blink your eyes open, finding a soft gaze on the floor in front of you. We can take an inhale and we'll scoop the arms up overhead. And with your exhale, turn your body towards the right and open the arms. And you can plant your right hand behind your torso and see if you can press into the ground to lift your torso out of your pelvis. You don't need to take your gaze too far at this point. Just take a moment to twist. Take a few deep breaths here. You can take your left palm to the right knee and just help press into that twist. Maybe eventually peering over that right shoulder. We'll take one nice slow inhale here. And with your exhale, looking forward, using your next inhale to turn the shoulders forward. And we'll take a breath here to recenter and take an inhale to scoop the arms up overhead. And we'll turn to the left this time, opening the arms up, planting that left hand behind the torso, pressing the ground away. Maybe your right hand finds your left knee. To continue to lift, almost as if you have a string coming through your head, finding the twist as you breathe, lifting through the torso. Maybe you're peering over that left shoulder. We'll take an inhale here and use your exhale to look forward and then inhale to untwist. And we'll take our arms up overhead and see how far you can let your hands land in front of your body. Go ahead and let the torso lean forward, almost as if the hips are lifting just a little bit. Take a breath here. And as you exhale, walk your palms back up to lift the shoulders over the hips, and we'll switch the cross of the legs. And we'll take that one more time. Starting with the opposite side, we'll take an inhale to scoop the arms up overhead. And the exhale will turn towards the left, opening the arms, planting that left hand behind the hips. Maybe that right hand lands on the left knee and pressing the ground away to find the twist. Breathe here. And with your exhale, we'll unravel, coming to center. Inhale to scoop the arms up overhead. And an exhale to rotate towards the right. Planting the hand behind the body, lifting the torso out of the pelvis. Maybe that left hand finds the right knee and peering towards the right shoulder. We'll take another breath here. And with your exhale, unraveling to the center. Taking the arms up overhead, and we'll send the shoulders forward as far as you can. Let the belly rest against the thighs for a moment. And then press up, walking the hands to behind the hips. And we'll roll over the knees, and we'll come into hands and knees tabletop. And just press your hips back to come into child's pose. You can walk the arms forward. You can make a pillow with your hands if you'd like, and allow yourself to return back to this pose at any point. If at any point during the practice you'd like to reconnect with your breath or just listen to your heartbeat, allow child's pose or any resting pose to be your place of respite. This is your practice. I am just the guide. And while we're here in Balasana child's pose, you can decide whether you'd like to take a mantra or an affirmation for today's class. If you'd like to join me, I'm going to keep it simple today. And I am here and I arrive in my body. So this can be a good mantra for when we're feeling maybe a little out of touch or ungrounded. And if we need to feel reconnected with the earth and with nature, you can take a deep breath and repeat to yourself, I arrive in my body. And as you exhale, you can repeat, I am here. And when you're ready, we'll plant the hands underneath the shoulders, pressing through tabletop. You can walk the palms just a little bit out in front of where they were. Tuck your toes under, and we'll press the ground away with both the limbs, both the hands and the feet. Lifting the knees very slowly. We'll lift the tailbone up into the sky, coming into downward facing dog. So you can keep your heels nice and lifted for now if you'd like. You can pedal through the feet, maybe flipping one foot over at a time and getting that opposite metatarsal stretch across the top of the foot and then the back. And just press the ground away, making sure that your shoulders are engaged here in downward facing dog. And eventually you can let your heels fall towards the ground. We'll take a nice breath here, feeling a pendulous head. If you'd like to rock your head back and forth, nodding or shifting the chin from armpit to armpit. Allow the neck to be nice and loose here. Don't want too much tension in the neck. Take a breath. And with your exhale, you can lift the heels and look up towards the hands. And we'll just tippy toe our way up, finding a nice deep bend to the knees as you make your way to the top of the mat. And you can take the heel toe your feet so that they're just within the width of your mat. So a nice wide, this is called catcher's pose. Take a nice deep bend into the knees. Find your elbows on your knees. You can bring your palms together, or if it's more comfortable to just keep them straight out, that's fine. And we'll take a pause here, keeping the gaze out in front of you. See if you can find a nice long spine through your tailbone, through your crown, as if you have just a long string pulling you from end to end. Feel the expansion through your spine. Breathe here. And with your next exhale, we'll drop the head, plant the hands, and see if you can straighten your legs. Again, if you'd like to rock back and forth, side to side, or you can draw circles around your legs here. Just work some space into your hips. Maybe you hold opposite elbows and rock. Allow for your joints to work out any kinks that you've built up sitting through your day or standing wherever you've been. Eventually finding stillness. We'll let the crown hang. Take a nice deep breath and let it all go. You can heel toe the feet back in, maybe so that the heels are right underneath your hips distance apart. And with your next inhale, we'll lift into a flat back. So trace your palms up your legs. Maybe they come up into your thighs, and press into your thighs with your hands. So you might feel your weight shifting way, way, way back over your heels. Pull your hips forward so that you engage your toes, your whole feet are engaged, and maybe you even have your glutes engaged, and you can rotate your thighs outward. And while you're here, see if you can plant your feet and maybe pull your feet apart. Isometrically engaging the entire muscle structure of both legs here. We'll take a nice inhale together. And with your exhale, drop the crown and drop the hands. And we'll take a bend into the knees and slowly roll up through the entire spine, stacking first your knees and then your tailbone, and then your rib cage, eventually your chest. And if you'd like, you can roll the shoulders up, back, and down, maybe bringing the palms to face forward. And while we're here, let's see if we can shut down the eyes or take a soft gaze at the floor in front of you. Feeling a nice long spine. Allow your feet to be like roots in the ground, holding your foundation and your crown pulling you high up into the heavens, into the clouds. We'll take a breath here together and gently blinking the eyes open. We'll take an inhale to take the arms up overhead. And an exhale, we'll send the heart forward and hips back for a forward fold. With your inhale, we'll take that flat back, lifting the gaze. And then with your exhale, plant the hands and we'll step back and lower the knees into a low plank. If you'd like to pick up your knees, that's fine. I'm gonna take it easy today on my wrists and take a low plank. And we'll take a breath here and making sure that you're pressing the ground away and really engaging through the shoulders. So you can feel your side body engaging already. Tucking the belly button into the spine. We'll take a breath here, inhale, and with your exhale, bend the elbows into the ribs and lower the whole body down to the ground. And planting the hands right underneath the shoulders, we'll go through some cobra rolls. So we'll take an exhale, completely emptying the lungs. And with your inhale, very slowly looking up, just the head at first. Exhale to release the head to the mat. Inhale and lift the head and chest. And lowering down with your own breath. Inhale to lift the head and chest and maybe the ribs. And lowering down. And as you work into your own spine with your own breath, pressing the legs into the ground, pressing your feet into the earth so that your body is supported muscularly and the skeletal structure can just roll naturally along your spine, along the ground. And with your next inhale, we'll hold that cobra wherever you are, pressing your pelvis into the ground, pressing the hands into the ground. We'll inhale here. And with your exhale, we'll tuck the toes, lift the hips, and come into downward facing dog. We'll take a breath here. And on your next inhale, lift the heels, looking up to your hands. You can tippy toe, step, or hop your way up to the top of the mat. We'll inhale for that halfway lift, looking up. Exhale, let the crown fall. And with your inhale, we'll scoop it all up for high mountain, bring those arms up overhead. And this time, when you exhale, send it forward, forward fold, Uttanasana. We'll inhale for the half lift. And this time, when you step back, we'll just step back with that right foot and lower the knee down. So we come into a low lunge. Before you sit up here, make sure that your hips, your thigh bones are coming straight out of your hip socket. So your heels are in line with your hips. Placing your palms on that front knee, that left knee, pressing into both feet here. See if you can square your hips up. Exhale all of your oxygen away, all that CO2 away, and we'll take an inhale to scoop the arms up overhead. Now, if you're having trouble balancing, you can tuck your back toes, engaging all of the muscles in the thighs, zippering up through your belly, through your spine. We'll inhale here. And with the exhale, we'll plant the hands and step the left foot back, lower the knees for a plank. We'll take a breath here. And with your exhale, tucking the elbows into the ribs to lower down. We'll inhale for the back bend, pressing the feet into the floor. And exhale, tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Press the ground away here. Really rotate your armpits under, almost as if you're trying to hug your face with your armpits. Softening the muscles in your neck, softening your face. Take a couple of breaths here, establishing our foundation. Softening your gaze. We'll take an inhale here. And with your exhale, step the right foot forward and lower the left knee down. You can untuck the toes, ensuring that you're aligned here. We'll take an inhale to scoop the arms up overhead. And an exhale, we'll plant the hands and press off the back foot to come to standing forward fold. Inhale to lift the chest, lift the gaze. Exhale, we'll let it fall forward. And with your inhale, take it all up to high mountain, standing, looking up. And again, exhale, we'll send it all forward, forward fold. Inhale for the half lift. Exhale, we'll send that left foot back and lower the knee down. Take your time to square up. Press that left foot into the ground. Press the whole right foot into the ground. Squaring up your hips. Engaging through your core, finding that lift, finding your shoulders nice and square. We'll take an inhale to take the arms up overhead. Hold that Anjanayasana Low Lunge for another breath. And with your next exhale, we'll plant the hands and step that right foot back for plank. Extra breath here for strength and posterity. And with your exhale, lowering the elbows, bending the elbows down. Inhale for your back bend. And exhale, we'll tuck the toes and lift the pelvis up into downward facing dog. Take some breaths here. If you've lost your Ujjayi breath, you're welcome to bring that back. Cycling the oxygen through your nose. Keeping a nice, smooth, steady flow. And when you're ready, exhale completely, and we'll step the right foot forward and lower the left knee down. Inhale to take the arms up overhead. Exhale, we'll plant the hands, press off that back foot into the forward fold. We'll inhale to look up for the flat back. Exhale, lower the head. And with your breath, coming all the way back up to standing. And we'll draw a line down the center of our body, finding our palms at heart center, Anjali Mudra. And again, we'll take a moment to reconnect with our breath, listening to the heartbeat, letting your eyes fall closed. If you'd like to lift the toes and maybe lower them one at a time here. Rebalancing, reconnecting with all the arches in your feet. Taking a breath. We'll come into some standing twists now. So with our next inhale, we'll take the arms up overhead. And keeping your feet planted, turn the torso towards the right and let the arms open into a T. Standing twist. Now, while you're here, see how you can pull your right hand back behind your body, opening that twist up. If you're finding tension in your neck, feel free to look forward. If you'd like to enhance the twist, you can look back. We'll take another breath here. And with your next inhale, we'll take the arms up overhead and bring the torso center. And exhale to open to the left. Again, pulling that left shoulder back. Feeling a nice long spine. Lifting through the torso. lifting through the crown. Exhale completely. And with your next inhale, we'll bring the arms back to center. And with your exhale, send that heart forward, hips back. We'll inhale to bring the chest up for half lift. And with your next exhale, stepping the left foot back and lowering the knee down. We'll take those arms up overhead for Anjanayasana Low Lunge, pressing the ground away. And this time, keeping the spine nice and neutral, pulling straight up into the sky. We'll take an exhale and open up towards that front leg. So to your right, pressing into the back foot and into the front foot, finding your balance. With your drishti, you can lower your gaze if that helps. And we'll take an inhale to bring the arms up overhead. Exhale, we'll plant the hands and step back into plank. Take a breath here, and when you're ready, we'll lower down all the way. An inhale for your back bend, and an exhale to lift the hips into downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana, 3 slow breaths, pressing into the pointer finger knuckles of your hands, lifting through the shoulder girdle, finding your soft gaze maybe at your toes or your knees. Breathing here. And on your next exhale, we'll step the left foot forward and lower the right knee down. Inhale to scoop the arms up overhead. And then with your exhale, we'll plant the hands, spring off that back foot, standing forward fold. Inhale for the half lift. And this time, we'll plant the hands and send that same foot right back. Send the right foot back, lower the knee. Inhale to take the arms up overhead, Anjanayasana. Pressing into both feet, finding your center of balance. Inhaling to lift up out of your torso. We'll take the exhale to open towards that left leg. Finding your twist within your body, wherever you land. Softening through the shoulders, softening through your face. Taking nice, slow, controlled breaths. We'll exhale completely. And with your inhale, we'll take the arms up overhead. Exhale, plant the hands and step that foot back for plank. Extra breath here. And on your next exhale, we'll tuck those elbows into the ribs and lower down. Inhale to lift the chest, lift the gaze. Exhale, we'll tuck the toes for downward facing dog. Take a breath here. And when you're ready, we'll step that right foot forward, lower the left knee down. Inhale, take the arms up overhead. Exhale, we'll plant the hands, spring off that back foot, stepping into the forward fold. Inhale for your halfway lift. Exhale, lower that head. And this time we'll roll up nice and slow. Take your whole breath to get there. Okay, we'll do a quick standing twist and then we'll slow it down and cool it down. So, my most recent favorite standing posture. If I try to say it in Sanskrit, I'll probably mess it up. Parivrita, Ekapada, I don't remember. I almost got it. Anyways, let's lift and spread the toes and lower them one at a time if you can. Shifting your weight into your left leg. Bring the right tippy toes, lifting the heel, and then we can bring the right heel to the calf. And as your leg works its way up, you can take your right hand down And maybe you hold on to your toes, or maybe you hold on to your foot. To help find your balance, find a drishti, maybe look straight down in front of you. And actually, I'm holding this with the wrong hand. So you're holding your right foot with your left hand. So we can twist into it. So as you open up, open your right shoulder towards that leg. This might be where you stay, and that's fine. We'll just stay right here, feeling the lift out of your torso, finding the standing twist as you press your right foot into your left hand. Maybe you begin to extend. Woo. Find that drishti, find the gaze, and begin to extend the foot as you can. Or if you keep it bent, that's fine too. With an exhale, lowering the foot down. And we'll take that on the other side. Shifting the weight into your right foot. Lift the left heel, come to the left toes. Lifting that left heel into your calf. Let it crawl up your leg, and eventually take your right hand down and hold either the big toe or the outside of the foot. Yogi's choice. Keeping that knee parallel with your hip. Take your gaze down to the mat in front of you. Find a point and focus on it as you try to extend your foot forward. Wherever you land is great. See if you can press into your standing leg and feel your crown lifting out of your shoulders, extending that left arm behind you as you begin to straighten into your left leg, finding the twist towards that leg. Take a breath, and when you're ready, exhale and lower the foot down. And give it a good shake out. And we'll make our way down to a seat. So however you like to get there, if you'd like to follow me, we'll take an inhale to take the arms up overhead. Exhale, send the heart forward and step the hips back, step the feet back to downward facing dog. Take a breath here. And when you're ready, you can lower your knees down and we'll roll over the knees to come to seated. And from here, take your right heel into your left thigh, and you can take the left thigh open if you'd like. And pull the flesh away from your sitting bones so that you can ground down in. And we'll walk our palms out in front. Take a nice, slow, deep breath. Release the crown, release the neck, release the belly. See if you can soften through your legs. And when you're ready, we'll walk the palms towards the torso. Taking the arms up overhead, we'll turn towards that left leg and open up the arms for a gentle twist, pressing the left hand into the ground, finding the lift out of your torso as you peer towards the left shoulder. Exhaling completely, we'll take an inhale to look forward and the exhale to unravel. And we'll switch out those legs, pulling the left heel in and letting the right heel go out. And just walking the palms out in front. Wherever you land, you land. Allowing your body to set the limits for you. Breathing into the stillness. Finding compassion for yourself. Arriving here and now. We'll take a breath. And when you're ready, walking palms up to the torso. We'll inhale to take the arms up overhead. And with your exhale, rotating the torso towards that leg, pressing the right hand into the ground behind you, just finding that twist again, breathing here. And the nice open hip twist. We're finding the twists in all the different angles. Feeling a nice tall spine as you twist through your lungs. Exhale completely here. And with your inhale, look forward and let the exhale untwist your torso. And we'll take our feet out in front. Wherever they are, hip distance is fine. Bend into the knees as far as you need to so that you can hold on to your feet. Or your low thigh or your calves are probably fine too. Somewhere on your lower leg, grab a hold and pull into your feet so that you feel your belly against your thighs. And allow for that compression to work energy into your hip flexors and pressing it through your low back. And maybe you begin to straighten your legs a little bit, or maybe not. Allow for the expansion through the low back. Send your breath down into your sacrum. Really allowing the belly to expand with each breath that you take. Maybe eventually straightening those legs completely or close to it, and letting the head fall between the knees. And we'll take an inhale together. And with your exhale, lifting the torso, releasing the feet. And we'll bring our feet to the floor, bending at the knees, holding on to the backs of the thighs, roll down to your back. Keeping your knees bent here. We'll come into a figure 4 stretch. So taking your left heel to your right knee, you can press with your left hand into that left knee to find a little bit more space. Or maybe you lift your right leg into your chest. You can hold on to that leg between the knee and the thigh, or maybe on the outside of the knee. Allow yourself to find the stretch that works best for you. Feeling the expansion across the glutes, or maybe in your hip flexors, maybe around the knee. And letting your breath be smooth and steady as we find calm, settle down. If you have that right foot lifted, we'll go ahead and plant the right foot on the ground, keeping this figure 4. So if you have low back issues, you will prefer to undo your figure 4 probably, but find what works for you. So we've got our foot bent, our right foot is planted. So we'll lift our hips and shift them to the left just slightly. We're just gonna make a little bit of space here so we can let our knees fall over to the right so that that left foot lands on the ground now. And we have just a gentle twist in the spine. And you can take your right hand against the left thigh and press into it as you find this twist, working some traction into that hip socket. Maybe you take your left arm out to a T, or maybe you take it up over your head. to help expand through the spine. Breathing here, arriving in the here and now. If you're pressing into the thigh, you can release that. And using either your abdomen or your hands, lifting the knees back to center, releasing that foot to the mat, recentering your hips. And you can take your feet nice and wide on the mat and just let the knees fall side to side for a moment. And just take any notes as to how each side might feel different, since we've only done a twist on one side. And eventually finding stillness with the knees, planting the feet. We'll take the right heel to the left knee. In the figure four, you can press that right knee away and eventually pick up the left foot, pulling that left knee into the chest, into the belly, finding that expansion across the back of the right leg, finding the perfect stretch that works for you. Maybe using your elbow to press into that right leg to enhance. Maybe closing your eyes, turning inward, making a note of your atmosphere again. What do you hear? What do you feel? And eventually we'll let that left foot find the ground. And we'll gently lift the hips up and to the right so that our knees can fall over to the left. If you've got the low back issues, you might want to just stack your knees here. And gently pressing the left hand into the right thigh to gently traction that SI joint. Again, if you'd like to take your right hand out to the side, or maybe it comes up over your head. Feeling that expansion through your spine, through the right side body. Allowing for the twist through the organs to give a gentle massage to your liver and kidneys. These amazing cleansing organs that keep our bodies functioning through this toxic world. Take a nice slow breath. And either using your abs or your hand, lifting the knees back to center, planting that foot, and we'll take another windshield wiper, recenter those hips and let the knees fall from side to side. Again, making a little note of the openness within your body. Giving a little back massage, a low sacral massage to yourself, just you and the ground. Eventually, we'll tuck our knees up into the chest. We'll come into wind relieving pose. Giving yourself a hug for me. We've got my babes out there in Lancaster and Georgia. Give yourself a hug for me. I love you. And my in-person people, hug you because I can't hug you right now. Give a nice big hug to yourself. Squeeze really, really tight. You can't. Breath. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Let it all go into a nice big X. And eventually rocking your feet back and forth, bringing the arms maybe down into a T, finding your Shavasana. Let the toes rock so that the hips can settle into the pelvis. Maybe a gentle bend to the knees feels nice. Letting the shoulders feel heavy in the ground and the skull, the back of the skull connecting with your foundation. Letting the eyes fall closed. And listening to your breath. Allow softness to overcome your being. Releasing any expectations of the physical world. And allowing your body to soften completely. Almost as if you're becoming one with the earth. Back to nature, back to nutrition, back to nurture. Allow your breath to continue to be the guide as you expand your lungs, reawakening into the physical world. Maybe you roll through your wrists and your feet, pointing and flexing your toes. Maybe bending at the elbows and bending at the knees, giving a stretch overhead, maybe rocking the knees back and forth until they fall to one side, bringing your whole body over into a tiny ball. You can make a pillow with your hands and just stay here for a moment. Take a breath. Take your time. We'll work our way back to a seated position at your own pace, as if you're moving through jello or water, very slowly coming to a seated position, keeping your gaze soft, or your eyes can remain closed. And we'll take our palms to heart center, pressing each finger into the opposite, pressing the palms together, feeling the thumbs against the chest. We'll take an inhale, feeling the chest lifting into the hands. And with your exhale, give a tuck to your chin in gratitude to yourself for showing up and taking some time to be here with me. Thank you for joining me. Until next time. Mwah.